The extra chair. In a bustling city, where people often hurried past one another with eyes on their phones and hearts tucked away, there was a small cafe on the corner of Maple Street called The Extra Chair. It wasn't known for fancy drinks or gourmet pastries, but it had something no other cafe did: an empty chair at every table, and a simple sign at the door that read, "No one eats alone." The cafe owner, Mira, had started the tradition years ago. She had once been a lonely university student in that very city, eating in silence day after day, her homesickness filling the space where conversation should have been. One evening, an old woman had asked to share her table. They talked. They laughed. And for the first time in weeks, Mira had felt seen. Years later, when she opened her cafe, Mira remembered that moment. At first, people thought it was a quirky idea. Some chuckled, some ignored it. But slowly, something began to change. A teenager who had just moved to the city sat with an elderly man and shared stories about their different generations. A woman going through a divorce found quiet company in a mother juggling 2 toddlers. A jobless artist and a retired accountant ended up starting a community art class together. The cafe became more than a place to grab a coffee. It became a place to belong. One rainy afternoon, a young boy named Ollie stood outside the cafe, soaked and holding a small bag of clothes. Mira saw him, opened the door, and smiled. "Would you like to come in?" she asked. Ollie hesitated. "I don't have money." Mira pointed to an empty chair. "You don't need money to sit. You just need someone." He sat. And as others noticed, someone brought him a sandwich. Another gave him a dry hoodie. A woman quietly slipped a folded note into his bag with her phone number. A social worker, just in case. That day, Ollie didn't find just shelter from the rain. He found people who saw him. Years later, Ollie, now a grown man, returned to the cafe, newly hired as a teacher at a local school. He walked in, and smiled when he saw it, still, the empty chair at every table. Mira had retired by then, but her sign remained. No one eats alone.